a second wallet on the same.
Citi FM. It doesn't get any better than that.
Detailed news, unparalleled coverage. City News on 97.3 FM.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
City News.
It's 1700 GMT. This is 97.3 Citi FM. Eyewitness News is a program. Umaru Sandamadu is the name. And coming up tonight on Eyewitness News.
You have your clients. If your client decides to leave, you leave. Well, go and leave. But you cannot say that there's a legal vacation and the judge who is actually sitting cannot do your case. No, that's not it.
Chief Justice Paul Bafo-Boni rejects calls for the cases being heard during legal vacation to be deferred. Tonight we hear from lawyers whose cases are in court during this period and why they decided not to show up. Also, coming up, Education Ministry dismisses claims that government intends to impose the teaching of Arabic on Ghanaian students. We have the PRO of the Education Ministry in studio. And still on Eyewitness News, the strike by university administrators that has seen disruptions in academic activities in public universities. That's a story that we are looking at here. Stay with 97.3 Citi FM. For more on this and many other stories on Eyewitness News, we also have business news coming up later on the show, where the Citi Business Desk will be bringing us the latest in the world of business. We also will be bringing you Talk Back, where we take the microphone to you and listen to what your views are. Send us messages on 0539 986 996, 0539 986 996, or go on X and mention my handle at Umar Rusanda or at Citi973. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. I am Umar Rusanda Amadu, and we're going to start a discussion by listening to the Chief Justice Paul Bafo-Boni. He spoke today in response, an apparent response to the conversation around legal vacation. Now, every year, the higher courts go on what is called legal vacation. They go for some 2 months and then return. Now, during this period, there are special courts that sit and hear special cases. Now, this has taken a political turn because some members of the opposition party who are standing trial have had their cases being held during this period alongside other cases. Now, the members of the NPP are saying that it is targeted at their members. The Chief Justice had a letter written to him by former Attorney General Godfrey Adame and former Works and Housing Minister, lawyer Attah-Mensah. They have said that they need to go on legal vacation and cannot represent their clients. And for that matter, they want their cases deferred. This was the CJ's response today.
So write to the Chief Justice to say that the cases should not be adjourned to the vacation. So I am not coming. I have already made agreements outside, so I'm not coming. You are a lawyer. You have your clients. If your clients decide to leave, you leave. Well, you will leave. But you cannot say that there's a legal vacation and the judge who is actually sitting cannot do your case. No, that's not it. And then adjournments are not at the instance of the Chief Justice. An adjournment is a judicial act. This is something that is so basic that sometimes when people write that I got a letter saying that I should withdraw the directive and also direct that the cases should be heard the same time.
So that's the Chief Justice Paul Bafo-Boni speaking in response to the letters that were written to him about the sitting of courts during vacation. The Deputy Attorney General, Justice Remsai, also made a statement about this. He even has an article on our website, citinewsroom.com. Let's listen to him.
It's completely false. There are so many judges that are doing vacation courts. And there are other cases that we are conducting, oral cases, which are not in the vacation because they are those judges in those courts have not been appointed as vacation court. And they've been vacation court judges who are not doing any oral cases. So it is false allegation they are making. Secondly, see, this is the thing. If a lawyer has a challenge which will prevent him from conducting a case on any day, what you do is to come to court and tell the court your reason, and the court will understand and grant you adjournment. But to sit at home and in your office and declare that because of legal vacation, you have decided that you won't practice law, of course, you will decide that you won't practice law, but clearly that does not stop the court from, or the proceedings from going. So for as far as we are concerned, there is no controversy on this matter. It is just an attempt to, as usual, delay cases. Look, while we are doing these cases, you will notice that it's always a fight taking dates. Every day there's one excuse or the other whenever we want to take adjournment. And this is not part of the same tricks.
So that's Deputy Attorney General Justice Sremsai. Let me go on the lines now and speak to the Honorable Samuel Attah-Mensah. He's a lawyer. He's representing Kwabena Edo Buahin, who is a standing trial in a case brought against him by the state. He's one of the lawyers, too, who wrote to the Chief Justice asking for something to be done about the vacating courts. Honorable Attah-Mensah, good evening and welcome to Eyewitness News.
Thank you so much for having me.
You are joining me via Zoom, and I'm lucky enough, me and my viewers can see your window in the background. It appears that you are neither in Abuakwa, Achima-Abuakwa, or in Accra. It looks like you are outside the jurisdiction of Ghana. Is that correct?
It's not true. I'm in Ghana.
Oh, then the landscape behind your place looks really nice. That's what I thought, that you are abroad.
Yeah, I'm in Accra, Ghana, say.
Oh, nice. Then you are living in the plushest and richest part of Accra, Ghana. It looked to me like you were in Washington, D.C. Anyway, let's get to the substantive issue. I'm looking at myjoyonline.com. Edu Buahin, wife, may cross-examine prosecution witnesses themselves if lawyers stay away, judge warns. Now, this judge is speaking about your client, and he's saying that your client and his wife may have to do the cross-examination themselves because you have abandoned them in court. Why were you not in court today?
In the first instance, I think that we are violating a major principle and changing the tradition of practice in this country if we sort of assent to what the CJ is doing. I want to stress that. So I am healthy. I have all my faculties working. I'm not tired. I could have gone to court, but I was not going to court. And I wrote to the CJ that I won't go to court because of the aberration of saying that we are on legal vacation. Nevertheless, there are part heads, and I want to stress that, relating to some special cases. Before some special court, judges have made them special, vacation judges, to continue with part head cases. And I'm saying that, look, this is obtuse and an aberration. Because if you pay regard to even Order 79 of CI 47, it is very clear that there's something called legal vacation. Let me read Rule 1. Subject to the Courts Act 1993, Act 45 now as amended, the Chief Justice may appoint any day, including vacations, for the hearing of cause or matters as circumstances require. The circumstances that require that we should work in vacation relate to emergency cases. I've done this job for over 32 years, and I've not seen that, the CJ will pencil a part head case in the vacation and impose a warrant on the judge to hear a particular part head case, and also expect that he can compel the lawyers who are supposed to be on vacation to go and adjudicate the case. What is the special, interest in this matter? Edu Buahin's case, what is it? Is it going to sort of affect the economy of Ghana if we go to term time? The CJ himself is resting, is he not? Is he not on vacation? The Supreme Court is on vacation. The Court of Appeal is on vacation. The high courts are on vacation, and a few of them will sit as vacation. Judges. What about the rest of the murder cases in the realm? Manslaughter cases, rape cases. Are these criminal cases of no consequence to the state? And you say that the judges doing murder cases, rape and manslaughter cases and robberies should go and sleep and relax until October. But these other criminal cases are so consequential for the realm that the judges should continue with the part heads. This is a principle I believe I want to uphold. I'm not a lazy lawyer. I'm not running away from a criminal case. I've done serious criminal cases than what I'm going through. So please, we are trying to uphold the practice at the bench, and also the practice that we expect the Chief Justice to respect, and the judges should rest, as well as the lawyers.
Let me just be sure. So you are saying to me tonight that your failure to be in court today is not because you were unwell or you had traveled. It's simply because you've decided not to show up in court.
Yes,
and
on point of principle.
And that flies in the face of the rules of ethics that governs legal practice. For lawyers, I do know from the regulation that governs your work, you cannot fail to give representation to your clients unless you announce that you are no more the lawyer based on certain agreements, and the court must be informed. To the extent that there was a court properly so constituted today and you failed to show up, you have breached the ethics of the profession that you're a part of. Did you not?
No, I've not breached any ethics at
because
all.
you left your client in the cold, and now the judge is asking him or his wife to represent themselves.
The judge was aware about my petition to the CJ. I copied the judge, the registrar of the court. The judge was acutely aware that I won't come to court because I wrote in my petition to the CJ that I was not going to come to court.
And you don't think that's a breach in any way?
Sorry?
You don't think that's a breach of your ethics in any way?
How can there be a breach of anything when I'm upholding principle that don't do selective justice?
Okay.
The other cases do not matter to the CJ, but the special ones. What kind of justice system would that be?
Okay. Explain to me why
where some cases have been penciled for hearing and others, the lawyers and judges are resting.
You have been a lawyer for 32 years, sir. Are you suggesting that in the past 32 years, you have never gone to a vacation court to represent a client before?
I've gone to vacation courts to do what we call motions. I've never been sort of tied to an arrangement in which a parted case that I'm conducting, I should continue in the vacation. This entire 32 years, I could tell you. So therefore, I'm questioning what has changed. Why are we trying to violate the tradition of rest? Look, let me give you a linguistic...
Okay, go ahead. Yes. Go ahead. Make that point.
Yeah. You see, let me tell you what the law says, and then we will have some rest. The law is talking about legal vacation. You don't need an Einstein to understand what a legal vacation is. What it means is that the linguistic evidence is suggesting that lawyers and the court should, rest. But because of circumstances, the law says that, which require, that is, there could be circumstances of emergency. They just pencil a couple of judges to attend to motions of, if you like, emergency undertones. I do not see a situation in which a chief justice will say that, all the land cases, this vacation, the judges in the land cases should not go on vacation. The lawyers should not go on vacation. All the land cases in the realm, I'll put them, the part head land cases, the judges should continue. They shouldn't go on vacation.
Okay.
Have you heard it before?
I have.
There's
an article that the deputy AG has penned down, and today he was in court in your matter, and so I think I just want to read it. It's on our website, citynewsroom.com, and ask you to respond. Yeah. And he's responding not to you, but to the Ghana Bar Association, which has also issued a statement on this matter. And he says, contrary to the GBA president's claim, vacation judges take proceedings on the substance of the case and do conduct trials during the legal vacation. Here is why. As stated above, a vacation judge takes both interlocutory and substantive proceedings on cases in his court. The reason for this is that a vacation judge is entitled to and does eventually take his share of the vacation, but in term time. When he does, another judge, a term judge, takes that's the legal vacation judge's cases. As in the case of vacation, a term judge too will, when the vacation judge goes on leave, take only interlocutory proceedings on cases from the court of the judge who is now on vacation. Under such circumstances, 2. Substantive proceedings on cases from the vacation judge will be on hold until the vacation judge returns from leave. This is for the same reason and law that only a substantive judge, not a holding judge, could determine a case finally. The net effect of this arrangement is that cases in the vacation judge's court do not suffer disproportionate delay simply because he has served as a vacation judge. This has been the practice in our court. So again, one is not particularly clear what the GBA president grounds the allegation that courts never conduct trials during the legal vacations on. So I think this also responds to what you said, that judges don't deal with main cases during vacation. He said that that's not true.
That is his theory. Unfortunately, if it's a Johnny just scam, that is his pathetic theory. But I could tell you that we don't have precedent of a murder trial part head. You understand? And the vacation judge is doing murder trials per head. My brother, we are not just little guys around. Oh, we're telling you that this is what it is. Because you abuse legal vacation if the courts are functioning full throttle. When they are functioning full throttle, they do what we call part heads.
Okay.
But when they are on vacation, they don't do part heads. They just attend to emergency interlocutory matters like a motion to arrest a vessel which might leave the realm. If somebody wants to remove a child from, the jurisdiction, you can go and do an ex parte motion. But you can't say that there's a divorce trial, which is part head, and the what's it called? The judge is doing part head in divorce matters. What if the Chief Justice didn't choose that judge who is doing the part head divorce as the vacation judge? What will become of a new judge coming to say, I'm doing a part head? So, you see, it doesn't even accord with common sense to say that in the realm of vacation, the judges are supposed to continue with their part head cases. What if you are not appointed as a vacation judge? How are you going to continue with your part head cases? And you can't get another judge trying to veer into another judge's part head cases. So he's inventing his own stories, no? He's not giving you concrete examples to show.
I have one concrete example I want to read for you from his statement again, and then I'll leave his statement out. He says that a lawyer who wishes to take a rest during legal vacation knows exactly what to do. He attends proceedings and makes a plea to the judge for accommodation. The judge will, in turn, consider the plea and, in the interest of justice, either grant the request, either wholly or in part, or refuse it altogether. What a professional lawyer is not entitled to do and cannot do is to, in vacuo, beforehand, declare that he will not attend proceedings at all. This is what he said.
That is his theory as usual, you see, because if you are upholding a principle, and I want to stress this, it is not your personal coveted pleasure. Those who uphold principles, like Dankwa died in Sawan prison to uphold democracy because he upheld one-man rule, was not his personal trophy. You understand? It's not because of Kwabena Dubuahin that I will cancel out totally the tradition of the bench and the bar that the judges should rest and the lawyer should also rest. And that a few judges, can sit to treat and attend to emergency cases. If today you want to, overturn this tradition because of one case, I won't lend my strength to that. I'm trained to uphold principle, not to be a convenience attorney. That's the point of the matter. If a judge is even now telling you that, if your lawyer doesn't come, then what is going to happen is that you need to do the cross-examination. When he has a right to cancel. I thought he was going to say, if Attah doesn't come, choose another one who believes that he wants to violate the principles of our tradition relative to vacations. But if you say, a carpenter, should remove somebody's, tooth instead of a dentist, then is it rule of law? Are you sure? So, my brother, I'm not being selfish. I'm not violating the ethics of the profession. If I have petitioned the CJ and copied the judge that I'm not coming to court, what else should I do?
But should such an application not be done in court, either written or orally, which is what you would have done on your feet in court? Why did you have to write a letter and copy the judge when?
No, before we sat, I've written a letter to the CJ protesting his warrant. You understand? That's what I was doing.
So you don't even think that the court should have sat in the first place for you to even appear before the judge? Because he lacks the warrant.
Precisely. I thought that the court would say, I will abide the decision of the CJ relative to the petitions. That was my thinking too.
Okay.
That the judge, so we don't have to sit. The CJ is investigating a very important matter. After that, we will abide his decision.
Okay. I'm looking at, a lawyer has just sent me something from the year 2001, August 9, 2001, a story by the Ghana News Agency at the time. And it's talking about the convention of this legal vacation issue. I'm going to read the story. It's titled Quality Grain, Prosecution Ordered to Bring Remaining Witnesses. And this is culled from GNA and published on Ghana Web. It says, Mr. Justice Kwame Afre, trying the Quality Grain case at the fast-track court in Accra on Wednesday, turned down an application for adjournment by the prosecution and directed it to bring all its remaining witnesses to court on Monday, August 13, for continuation of the case. This followed defense counsel's objection to Mr. Osafo Sapon, Director of Public Prosecution's request for a long adjournment because the next prosecution witness was not available, and also that the general legal year has begun. The legal year begins from the first week of August and ends in the first week of October, a period when judges of the Superior Courts go on sabbatical leave. No sooner had Mr. Sampon completed his submission than counsel for all the accused persons simultaneously rose and vehemently objected to the application. Mr. Justice Afre said he has been instructed to sit as a vacation judge and hear the case, and invited the most senior counsel, Mr. Kweku Ban, to react to the application. So there's a convention, you can even call it precedent in there. How do you respond to that?
It's a very pathetic example to cite. And I've always said, those who are so weak in their thinking, they're always relying on, excuse me to say, dead issues. In this our constitutional dispensation that we want to progress, I don't know the full facts of this case, but I could tell you that you could not compel them. You should find out whether Kwekuba and the rest of them succumb to the CJ's pleasure that a apartheid criminal case, should continue. Did he not? He should bring that particular information to see how the lawyers were protesting. And that protest is valid.
And the judge the judge argued that that approach was an abuse of the legal process, and that the lawyers were trying to quote and unquote obstruct justice deliberately, and asked the court to remind the DPP that it was ready to sit regularly and ensure a speedy trial. Is speedy trial not part of justice delivery?
A speedy trial, which is not selective, is good, because somebody is interested that his land case should come to an end. Why has he not arranged all the land cases in Ghana? There are many of them that the judges should sit so that we expedite the trials. Why are there 2 special or 3 special cases with the same judges made vacation judges? So that what? We expedite the trial in an ambulance mode to achieve what? We will question these things, because when people believe that, we can't question discretion, then we should turn the Constitution into shreds. The Constitution says we can question administrative decisions and discretionary powers, and we'll question them.
Okay.
What is the reasonableness about this? What is special about these cases that the judges should continue? What is the special about it? All the other cases in the realm, they don't matter. They are inconsequential.
Okay. Now, because this is a running conversation and people are listening and sending me message in time, there's a journalist who has just sent me another message which relates to this subject. I want to read it out again and ask your opinion. The story is on Modern Ghana. It was published on Tuesday, August 1, 2023. That story is titled 12 High Courts to Sit During Legal Vacation. The story reads, as the judiciary commences its 2-month legal vacation today, Tuesday, 1st August 2023, the Chief Justice, Gertrude Araba Esaba Saki Tokunu, has designated 12 out of the 42 high courts within the Law Court complex in Accra to remain operational during this period. The legal vacation, which will run until September 30, 2023, will see the suspension of activities in the Supreme Court, the Court of Appeal, and some high courts. However, to ensure a continuous and efficient justice system, the Chief Justice has arranged for 12 high courts to hold sessions during the vacation. The 12 high courts designated to sit during this legal vacation are as follows. Commercial Court 2, which I must say is actually currently sitting because I was in the court complex yesterday. Commercial Court 10, Criminal Court 1, Criminal Court 3, General Jurisdiction 12, 9, 6, 3, Financial Court 2, Land Court 10, Land Court 3, Probate Court 3, and that's the end of the list. Each of these courts will be presided over by experienced and respected judges. His Lordship Justice Francis Obri, the Commercial Court, Her Ladyship Justice Adelaide Abui Kede, Commercial Court, and the names are listed of all the judges who preside. The story concludes by saying, by designating these courts and appointing experienced judges to oversee the proceedings, the Chief Justice aims to prevent any vacuum in the judicial system and ensure that essential legal matters continue to be addressed during this vacation. Does it satisfy your concerns, or this again is WAP logic?
Yeah, so mark the words essential legal matters. Do you know what that means?
Yes, it means that when there's an oral that the government wants to recruit
cases.
When the government wants to recover all loot, it needs to do it quickly, expeditiously.
When what?
The government wants to recover all loot, it will prosecute expeditiously, or it will ask that the court should sit.
No, the government will not be in an ambulance mood to occasion injustice. See, the government's pleasure cannot violate the rule of law. And nobody should say Jubilee House is drumming and the judiciary is dancing. That is why we should bend over backwards and do part heads during vacation. So when they use the word essential, the 12 judges were not trying cases, my brother. That is what it means. You see, there must be some essential cases in terms of what? A motion to prevent a vessel from leaving the realm. A child is being removed from the jurisdiction. Let's block it by a motion. Or some other thing like a bail pending appeal. You understand? It doesn't mean that those judges who were working all year round, because of some special extrajudicial considerations, should sit and complete their parties. I'm asking this question, nobody is answering. Are there not several murder cases in the realm? Are there not several judges doing murder cases, manslaughter and rape? Are there not several land cases also? If the CJ believes in expedited, adjudication system, why is it that he's saying that those judges should go and rest, but these selective ones should proceed? What kind of thing are you projecting to the generality of Ghanaians?
Okay.
In whom reside the justice of this country?
So
these are the matters of principle that we shouldn't play with.
If it is,
if they want to cancel, what's it called?
Legal vacation.
Legal vacation. Then they should bring the proper, legislation and say, now Ghana, we have cancelled, legal vacation. Every court should sit so that it's fair. If not, you give the impression that we consider these cases extremely special. But we want to treat it in an ambulance way. I believe it subverts the Constitution.
But you agree that
lend my friend to what's an aberration.
But you agree that even the current system is unfair because the vacation is just for the superior court, so the High Court, the Court of Appeal, and the Supreme Court. Currently, the district courts, the circuit courts are sitting. Now, how fair is it then? Why are we not asking them to also go on vacation? Because it tells you that justice has to be delivered, and so some may go while some remain, and so if the same thing is happening at the superior courts, it shouldn't be a problem. And that they can
have their
control
leave systems. Are you aware? The lower courts you're talking about, the judges go on leave.
Okay.
If we are aware.
How about the lawyers? How about the lawyers who appear before those judges? Do they go on leave?
If they want to. I'm unable to come because of one reason or the other. So we shouldn't, they are not the same. If you look at the high courts and the rest of them, it's like a general closure of the courts with a few working. And it's borne out by the law. So if you want to say the law is discriminatory, if you pay regard to, section order 79 of the rules, then that's it. Because
Hello? Oh, no, but I've lost you. Can you hear me?
It's not Attah-Mensah's invention.
Okay, I lost you momentarily. I think you're back. Before you leave us, the petition you wrote, you addressed it to the Chief Justice, and you said that you don't want to go to court. The Chief Justice has responded verbally and dismissed your petition. Would you now go back to the next sitting of the court? Because it means that what you have asked the Chief Justice to do, he's supposed to make a determination. His determination is against you and not in your favor. Would you obey and go to the court?
I won't obey. I won't go. I know what to do.
What will you do? Who would you challenge? Who would you appeal to?
I know what to do. You will just hear as soon. Yeah, we will not release our signals in the public space. Yes, because we are talking about justice delivery, not one man's pleasure.
What if what if your clients go to court the next sitting and the judge carries out the warning and lets them do the the cross-examination themselves? That is allowed under the law, right? And so there wouldn't be any miscarriage of justice there.
Yes, just flip it. If they tell you that, look, it's so skilled, we can't do it. What is the judge going to say? Just flip it. What you want me to do, I can't. And don't force me and hurry me when my innocence, my liberties are at stake. What is the judge going to do? Are we now going to turn these courts into kangaroo courts, in which is the pleasure of the judge, not the rule of law, which matters?
You are a lawyer, but you are also a politician. So let me drop the political side in the conversation now. That the NPP is afraid. The NPP does not want to be accountable. So because of that, the NPP and its lawyers are running away from the courts, hiding behind legal vacation. How do you, as a member of the NPP, respond to that?
That's a vile propaganda. You see, because look, the NPP cases are going on. Who cares? I'm telling you that even as a lawyer, if people are jailed and the evidence that is beyond reasonable doubt, what are you going to do? You just have to appeal if you have to appeal. Okay. Nobody is allergic to what is going on. But let me tell you something. Nobody should also give an impression that you want to hurry people to go to jail so that the political fortunes of a certain political party will be good. Akufo-Addo couldn't jail people. When we came under 2 years, we've done 18 or 19. Please, when it comes to justice, it is not a political football. So we see who scores.
Very well.
No, it's a rule of law.
Thank you so much, sir, for speaking to us.
My pleasure as always.
Lawyer Samuel Attah-Mensah is a former Minister of State, former Member of Parliament for Ebuakwa South in the Eastern region. He's lawyer for Kwabena Edu-Boahen, one of the cases that are supposed to be ongoing during the vacation, for which reason he's protesting. I have on the other line Martin Kpebu. He's a private legal practitioner. Counsel, you're welcome to Eyewitness News.
Thank you, Mario. Thank you.
I know you are a human rights lawyer. You are celebrated for all the successes in granting bail. So can you give me bail for a minute to take a break and return and hear your views on this matter?
Okay.
Thank you so much. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. I'll hear from Martin Kpebu on this when we come back. Please stay.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
You know that feeling when you're getting ready for work. Your shirt is still crumpled and the iron is just starting to warm up. Or you're late for the wedding and now about to blow dry your hair. Or you have just stocked up meat for the cold store and then suddenly, light off. Life just keeps getting paused. But what if your roof, yes, your roof, could keep things running in your homes and businesses? With EcoBank ASAP, you can switch to solar now by getting a loan to buy solar power systems with no upfront cost and easy repayments. Power your life through EcoBank's vetted solar vendors and lower your power bills over time.
Take back your power with EcoBank ASAP. EcoBank, the Pan-African bank.
Looking for engineering excellence you can trust?
Welcome to Left Signature Limited, driving progress through technology and engineering excellence.
From expert electrical engineering design, installation, power systems, renewable energy, automation and control,
to reliable data center and managed services, power infrastructure, network connectivity, server virtualization, cloud integration and data security.
And cutting-edge software development, custom business applications, web and mobile apps, cloud and DevOps solutions.
Integrity, safety, accountability, teamwork. That's the Left Signature promise.
And now, introducing the Left Power app.
Request for our services anytime, anywhere. Available on the Play Store, App Store, and on the web.
Ready to power your success?
Choose Left Signature Limited. Visit www.leftsignature.com.
Call +233 256 111 811.
Left Signature Limited. Engineering excellence for a connected future.
Charlie, trim I'm nice. I get some serious meeting. Allah, motion. But Charlie, no credit today.
Oh, but you relax.
Momo Day.
Hey, what funny.
Yes, so I borrow small, sort myself out, I pay back. We move. Sport Day. Ah, Charlie, you sure say you dey pay back? Yes, so that anytime somebody else they need them, Momo Day. Be like I for can't borrow some more. Hey, you this boy. Don't go there and disgrace yourself. Allah motion.
Responsible borrowing be the real flexo for today's needs and tomorrow's dreams. Borrow, sort them, pay back. Momo Day.
Hello, good afternoon. I am calling from your bank. We are currently experiencing a system downtime, so we need to secure your account. Please, can you confirm your account number and your login details so we can restore access immediately? Yes, your username and password, just to verify.
Beware of fraudsters. Your bank will never ask for your login details, PIN or password over the phone. Shine your eye. Spot the fraud. Stop the fraud. This message is brought to you by the Ghana Association of Banks.
If you spot the fraud, you go fit to stop the fraud. Make you know they lose God.
Let your voice be heard on Eyewitness News on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag Eyewitness News.
You're welcome back. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. I am Umaru Sandamadu. The discussion we are having today has to do with the legal vacation in the courts and why some lawyers are insisting that their cases not be heard. Martin Kwebu is a private legal practitioner. He's joined us on the line. Sir, you're welcome, and thank you so much for agreeing to be with us on the line. Where do you stand in this conversation on legal vacations? The Chief Justice, the Attorney General hold the view that the cases can continue. The lawyers for the clients in that case, or the accused person in that case, believe that it is not proper in law. Where's your stance?
Yeah, so I'm the middle ground. Middle ground being that we should negotiate. You see, we should try to find an amicable settlement, because if we try to argue this too much in the public, as lawyers, we may lose, because so far the clear position of the law is that it's not a right. We are not entitled to it as a right. It's not the type of thing you can go to court and win. So it doesn't look good when we are arguing too much about it in public. But rather, we should seek to, deal with. So in this case, we can approach the system. Though strictly speaking, they will tell the Chief Justice will tell that no, it's not a matter. Go before each of the trial courts. So as a lawyer, where your case is, go talk to the judge. A matter of adjournment is for the judge. So I appreciate that. But perhaps maybe we can still push further.
Hello?
The judges are different. They have different temperaments. So each lawyer, in other words, the Chief Justice explanation means that each lawyer should go and fight his own fight. But I know we have different fighting skills, different strengths, etc. So if maybe we could negotiate it at one point, it may be better. So maybe not going to the Chief Justice, but perhaps go to the Association of Judges and Magistrates to negotiate something. So that, look, Omari, to be clear, so this is what I see in the middle ground. Since the vacation is about 2 months, 2.5 months, maybe for those cases that the cases will come before the judges during this vacation, you can agree that maybe you work 1.5 months, then the remaining 1 month, that one, you won't work. That's to say, you will take that one as break. So like this, Edubuahin cases, etc. And when we say take 1 month off, it can be at the beginning, August or September, or maybe part of August and part of September. But the main thing is that so far from what we are seeing, as lawyers, we can't point to any specific law that says that it's a right. Rather, it's some will say this kind of convention, generally the judicial service will not agree that it's much of a convention because they'll tell you that it's for the judge. The vacation is for the court. So it's when the court is resting that you rest. But if that specific court is not resting, you, the lawyer, you should appear before it if you want to continue to serve your client and then take your break at another time. You see why I say so? We should maybe approach rather the Association of Judges and Magistrates so that the bar would do the negotiations there so that it's easier for all the courts. So you see, Omar, what I'm discussing now, if they were to agree that, okay, for each of those judges who are sitting during this vacation and lawyers have cases before them, like the Dubois case, etc., we can agree that, out of the 2.5 months, the lawyers should be given 1 month off. It can be negotiated. Or if you look at the amount of work that each judge is to do, if the lawyer wants, he can say, okay, I want to appear before you daily for 2 weeks. And then I'm done so that I can take the rest of the time and go away. I think if we were to negotiate and get an agreement at that top level, then the Association of Judges and Magistrates can share with their members so that it's uniform. What I definitely don't think is good is to say that each lawyer should go and appear before each judge and sort out his own case. As I said, the judges are human beings. The lawyers who are human beings, we have different temperaments. So this thing about each lawyer going to negotiate is too much work. But if the two associations negotiate and receive and get a certain agreement, then the lawyers can use that.
Okay.
Look, let me give you a typical example. You see the service of processes on MPs. You see that the Chief Justice at the time had to negotiate with the Speaker at the time. Then they agreed. Then a circular was brought out. Of course, never mind that in the Afenyo versus Speaker of Parliament, it brought some difficulties, but at least we all know that there was a certain agreement. So that's the type that I'm thinking that our association, which is the GBA, should rather approach the Judges and Magistrates Association to do those kind of negotiations so that it will be easier for individual lawyers to now rely on that in the various courts.
Now, because that is a proposal you're making, but the Chief Justice who was petitioned has sort of dismissed this particular petition. And you've also said that if you have a case, you go and make it before your trial judge and pray that the trial judge will grant you the period to go away, which means that a judge who is sitting during vacation is not engaging in an illegality, and that judge can continue to sit if they so wish. In this instant case, how do we resolve it? Because the lawyers have said they will not show up. The judge has said the accused persons may have to do their own cross-examination. How do you reckon this particular case they can find a middle ground in there? And I'm referring to Attah and former Attorney General Godfred Dame versus the judges.
So you see that example of the judge saying, I will go on. This is the very reason I said the two associations should rather talk. That's leave out the Chief Justice, because the Chief Justice is clear that if you want an adjournment from a court, it is not his matter. Don't come and worry him with that. But that doesn't mean that we cannot go to the Judges Association. So there's an association of judges, which includes even the Supreme Court judges, all the judges, from the biggest to the smallest. That's what I'm saying, that our association should now redirect the petition to the Association of Judges so that we'll go and negotiate it there. Because you see the position, some judges will say, no, I won't give you even 1 week off. You can get those things. Just as you get some who agree that, okay, in the 2.5 months, I want to deal with your case on maybe, let's say, 10 occasions. That's 10 times. Do you want to come for the 10 times daily for 10 days? That's 2 weeks and finish and go away. Or do you want to come like maybe intersperse them? You see, all those things. That's why I said we can get something. The Chief Justice is not saying that the adjournment cannot be granted. Maybe we should have started from that point. He's not saying that you can't get an adjournment. That's not what the Chief Justice is saying. What he's saying is that when you want an adjournment, it is not for you to come to the Chief Justice. Go to the judge who is dealing with your case And that's why I keep repeating that. So you have to go and negotiate with that judge. But as I've said, look, let's also speak plainly. Because, as I said, the judges have different temperaments, lawyers have different temperaments. In these negotiations, if we are not careful, it's even too much work. Can you imagine it's not just Attah-Mensah and this Edubuahin case, so it's all over Ghana. So, though we are on vacation, some judges have been made to sit. So so even in Accra alone, you'll find not less than 15 high courts open. So it's not only the Attah-Mensah, Edubuahin cases that those ones that have been. No, there are at least 15 high courts. I'm using at least minimum. It cannot be less. So in Accra, you'll find not less than 15 high court judges sitting. So then that's what I'm saying. That so because of the different temperaments and, when you are negotiating, sometimes your tone, you don't even mean evil or you don't mean to be rude, but maybe you have a deep voice and then the other person listening to you is like, hey, are you even talking down at me, etc. But if we get the things negotiated at the association level, various clauses, then they'll give it to the judges. And then the lawyers can then go and then apply which clause he wants. If the lawyer wants to come, Jinahoji, come every day for 2 weeks and then you are free to go. Or you want to come, you want to rest the first 1 month, then maybe first week of September, you start coming. Different things. It can be done. But Umaru, let's be very clear. The Chief Justice has not said that a lawyer cannot take a rest. He says, look, go before the trial judge. And also, let's also be very clear. The judges, as they sit, because of a different temperaments, maybe you have those who also want to finish the case quickly. If you talk to lawyers, they'll tell you some judges like to finish their cases quickly. So once the Chief Justice has said that it's for the judge to determine, some can be very hard that I won't grant you much adjournment. Then it can become a struggle between such a judge and the lawyer. But if we were to make the petition directed to the association, then some points can be negotiated and agreed upon. Then the lawyers can then rely on that to go before the trial judges. Because nobody is ever saying that a lawyer cannot get an adjournment. No, that's not the main thing. But it's about how we go about it.
All right. And this is my final question, what will be the consequence of the judge in the Edubuahin case insisting that the accused persons do the cross-examination themselves if the lawyers fail to show up?
Yeah, so far, the judge is within the law because that is being it. Because the warrant says you sit as a vacation judge, your lordship or your ladyship, sit as a vacation judge. And the vacation judge thing, it doesn't mean that you cannot do the cases that are full trials. The ones that you have to enter the box and talk, that's a full plenary trial.
Attah holds a view that does not happen. It's just for, issues like motion, injunction, or there's an urgent matter that the court has to arrest the departure of a vessel or the movement of a child out of the jurisdiction, but not. He refers to it as part head cases. That should not be on the part of the vacation judge's business.
That's where the problem is. So all these years, that was what we've always known. So that's been the practice. But today, the Chief Justice is waiving the law. Now, when I say waive, I mean showing us that this is the law. The law is the law. So that's where we are caught. So what you said has been the practice. But so at what level the practice, you can call it a convention, it's difficult. And the point is also is that, can you call something a convention that can be binding when there is a law that says otherwise? You see the problem. When there's a clear law saying that this is the law, can you use a convention to override the law? That's why I said they don't seem to agree. The Chief Justice doesn't agree. That's why I said so in this case, look, we are better off going to negotiate. So if it means that the judge is saying, look, if you don't come, the case continues, it means that the judge can go on. Unfortunately, though, it may be. Yes, it means the judge can go on and say, look, Well, if you don't, you, the accused person, do the cross-examination. If you don't do it, well, it means that you don't intend to do it. I'll discharge the witness. Then, yes, prosecution, bring next witness. Then that person too comes. Do you want to cross-examine? If you don't, then you see it. So it can bring difficulties. That's why I said we shouldn't over-argue this thing in public, but go and negotiate with the Association of Judges.
Very well. Thank you so much for speaking to us, sir.
You're welcome.
Martin Kpebo there, he's private legal practitioner. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. We are coming to you from our studios in Accra. I am Omaru Sanda Amado. It's now time to bring you other news stories that the City Newsroom has been following. Fafa Melody Portifer is in studio to bring us news summaries. She is not on vacation. Fafa, take it away.
Well, in more news, anti-corruption campaigner Vitus Azim has opposed any possible move by Parliament to probe the AXA deal. This follows the conviction of the former managing director of the Tema oil refinery, Asante Kwekubeko, over his alleged role in a scheme to bribe Ghanaian government officials in connection with a power plant project. In an interview with City News, Vitus Azim said the alleged involvement of some parliamentarians could undermine the credibility of any parliamentary inquiry.
It's not an investigative body, but I've always been against it, because, especially if it involves members of parliament. And from the reports we are hearing, it involved some parliamentarians. And so when you ask Parliament to investigate itself, definitely you should not expect anything concrete from it. It has already been revealed that Ghanaian anti-corruption institutions, EOCO and OSP, have cooperated with the US government in the investigations, which means that they have detailed information about the transactions and the people involved. So the obvious thing, if they're serious about fighting corruption, is to go into it, investigate it further, and establish the facts and take the necessary action. If it requires prosecution, then they should go ahead and do that.
You had anti-corruption campaigner Vitus Azim. Now, in more news, the New Patriotic Party says constituencies that fail to resolve outstanding issues and conduct their elections before this weekend's regional elections will not participate in the process. The party says some constituencies, including Tema East and Ayawaso West Wogon, have already been cleared, while others have been granted extensions to address outstanding issues. Speaking to City News, Deputy General Secretary of the New Patriotic Party, Haruna Mohammed, however, said those unable to resolve their challenges in time will forfeit their participation in the regional elections.
We have referred the matter to the Electoral Affairs Committee of the party. They invited most of these constituents, all of them, and heard them. After hearing them, the Electoral Affairs Committee have submitted a report to the National Steering Committee, which has been deliberated upon. Some of them, upon the conclusion, have been requested to go and run the elections, one of which is Amasaman, Ayawasu, West Wogum, and some other constituents were given the green light to go and conduct the elections. Others were given the green light to go through certain processes to have the elections conducted or to correct the anomaly that existed. And upon that, some of them too were also given extension based on the gravity of the issues that were before the National Steering Committee. And those who were in court and the party could not take a definitive decision on that because of the court processes, had left them to go through the court processes. So some of them have been given the green light. They have done the elections. Tema East, for example, have done Ayawaso West. Some will be doing from tomorrow, and then others will also follow suit. Those who will not be able to go through because of the technical nature of their elections will not participate in the regional elections and will not be given extension in that particular process. And this is grounded in the fact that the constitution of the party doesn't require all the constituencies to be available for the elections because it's 1/3 of the delegates present. So once you have 1/3 as a quorum, you proceed to have the election. So all is set, and the party is determined to resolve all those issues going forward into the election.
Well, you have the Deputy General Secretary of the New Patriotic Party, Haruna Mohammed, speaking ahead of this weekend's MPP regional elections. Now, residents of Brekum in the Bono region today protested the destruction of farmlands and pollution of water bodies caused by illegal mining activities. Brekum becomes the second community in the region after Atronia to stage a demonstration within 24 hours against the growing impact of illegal mining. The residents say water bodies in communities including Benkasa water and Amomaso have been severely polluted and degraded by mining activities threatening agricultural production and access to clean water. The Babinhene of the Brekun traditional area and an organizer of the demonstration, Nana Opombwatin II, says the protest is to draw attention to the worsening environmental situation.
We, the people of Brekun, have a peculiar situation. We don't have enough lands, neither do we have water bodies. And looking at the nature of our community, we have to rely on the lands and the water for everything that we do. In the year 2022, there was a company that applied to mine here, and it was discussed at the Brekun Traditional Council. By then, we had Omahine Dasebe Dr. Mankradiawu, who was the president of Brekun Traditional Council. And at that meeting, it was agreed that Brekun was not ready for. Then we learned last year that some companies were coming to mine at Benkasa. We tried to stop them, and then there were other companies who started mining at Amomaso. Now, if you go to Amomaso, people who are involved in vegetable farming are not able to undertake their farming activities because of the galamsey that is going on within those areas. If you see the color of the water bodies, people cannot use it for anything.
Nana Opombwatin II is the Babahine of the Brekun traditional area.
This Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. Fafa Melody Potufe from the City Newsroom bringing us news summaries. And something else from the Newsroom. Felix Kwachio Fosu, the Minister of State in charge of Government Communication, has just moments ago issued a statement which is titled Reorganization of the National Security Council Secretariat. And the statement reads, His Excellency the President has approved the following appointments and reassignments as part of the reorganization of the National Security Council Secretariat. Major Retired General William Ayamdo, former Chief of Army Staff, is appointed Deputy National Security Coordinator in charge of operations. Mr. Yao Donko, former National Security Coordinator, is appointed Director of Intelligence and Research at the Office of National Security Advisor. Mr. Adamu Saka is appointed Director of Logistics and Transport. Ms. Faustina Efabwedi is appointed Officer in charge of the Human Security Department. DCOP retired Peter Ndekugri, I beg your pardon, is appointed Officer in charge of Special Investigations Unit. And finally, ACP Ahia Al-Hassan Osman is reassigned to the Ghana Police Service for further deployment. These appointments and reassignments take immediate effect. This is a statement signed by Felix Kwachio Fosu, Minister of State in charge of Government Communication. This Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. Let's now talk about education matters. The Ministry of Education has issued a statement which is titled Ministry of Education clarifies misinformation on the teaching of Arabic in schools. Now, it's something that has been trending on social media for some time now, and the ministry says there's some loss of misinformation which it is seeking to clarify. Hashmin Mohammed is Press Secretary to the Minister for Education, and he's joined us on the line. Hashmin, you're welcome to Eyewitness News. Hello, Hashmin, can you hear me? Do I have Hashmin on the line? Yeah, hello, can you hear me? Apologies. Okay, I do not have Hashmin. I'll try and get him on the line. But let me speak to Reverend Amwa Kweku Kakari. He's president of the Ghana Association of University Administrators, GAWA. Mr. Kakari, welcome to Eyewitness News. Do I have you, sir?
You're listening.
Great. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Good evening to your listeners.
Good evening to you, Reverend. Ghana Association of University Administrators, who make up the association in a practical university setting? Who in the university do I expect to find as under your association or in your association?
Yeah, thank you very much. In every public university setting, we have different categories of staff. We have the junior members who are the students. We have junior staff, we have senior staff and then senior members. So if you pick the senior members, we have two different categories. We have the senior members teaching and the senior members non-teaching. And when you pick the Ghana Association of University Administrators, we are made up of the senior members non-teaching. And the senior members non-teaching includes officers from the registrar's office, that is the human resource division or department or heads of human resources, and the senior members in there, the general administration, the academics and student affairs, and then the public relations. Then when you go to the professionals who are also part of the GAWA, we have the Directorate of Health Services and the senior members therein. Then you have the IT Directorate, where we have the professional IT people. We have all the senior members in the account directorate or finance directorate. So the finance officer, the payroll officer, the budget officer, the treasury, the officer in charge of treasury, they are all members of.
I see. So it's a big association. Now, why are you people on strike?
Yes, we are on strike because the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission has been very unfair to us in terms of the issues that we negotiated during our negotiations with them. Let me explain further. We had an invitation to come for negotiations, which is a convention. Every 2 years, unions go for negotiations. In fact, GAWA doesn't have conditions of service. So we presented our comprehensive conditions of service. But when we presented, Fair Wages told us that government has instructed them that there is not going to be a full cycle of negotiations this year because there is no money. And for that matter, we have to pick 2 items on our pay slips for discussions and modest adjustments. So we suggested 2 items, and they said that government insists that we use the non-basic allowance and then market premium. We told them and asked which name would they be giving to the non-basic allowance and the market premium adjustment that they're going to give us. And they said that after negotiations, we would give a name to it. We finished the negotiations and implementation was to start in 1st April. End of April, we didn't hear from them. End of June, we didn't hear from them. The middle of July, they wrote to us that from Ministry of Finance, they're going to start implementation from 1st July. We said, no, this is not it. Because it is outside the agreement that we had. Then again, that negotiated allowance had replaced our market premium, which is contrary to what we agreed. And we know the market premium is approved, or market premium is determined based on job evaluation. So we wrote to the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission and then Labour Commission. One other thing that they also indicated in the letter was that that we found was that our colleagues that are paid by the Controller and Accountant General's Department paid only the Registrar's Office staff and left out the professionals. So we wrote all these things and indicated that in a hand delivery, a letter that we delivered in person to them. Today, 11th August, is the 27th day that we submitted the letter to them. Not even a receipt, acknowledgement of receipts from Fair Wages and Fair Wages and Salaries Commission and then the Labour Commission. We met with the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission CEO at our Congress, and we asked why. He couldn't convince us. He was telling us about Independent Emolument Commission that is yet to be approved, a bill that is yet to be approved by Parliament, and something that is to take effect from 2028. So we should wait till 2028. He said that who does this? That was the question that we asked him. He couldn't convince us. Again, there are other things that have been on our desk between us and Ghana Special Education Commission for about 4 years. We go there 2024, we went on strike. The then Minister of Education invited us. We had an MOA with the Minister of Education then to finish implementing those issues. Up to today, nothing has been done about it.
Reverend, this is not the first time you are embarking on a strike on this matter. You were giving some assurances in the past. Is it the case that your demands are too high, government is simply unable to meet them, or you think that government is simply not interested in supporting you and attending to your matters?
Yes, so it is not about our matters being too high and too harsh and too demanding, but it is about government and its agencies not being truthful to us, not being honest with us, negotiating with us in bad faith. That is why we are on strike. We also have issues like the fifth tier. If you are an administrator and you hit the level of a deputy registrar or deputy director of finance, and you are age 37 or age 40, you'll be there till your retirement for 20 years. We are saying that is not fair. A registrar who ends his or her tenure as a registrar will have to drop down to a deputy registrar. A finance director who finishes his tenure and has still has some years to complete, to go on retirement, will still have to drop down to a deputy finance director. These have implications on people's pension. We have presented a comprehensive paper to Vice Chancellor Ghana. We have presented a comprehensive paper to GTEC. We have presented a comprehensive paper to Fair Wages. The last time we met with Fair Wages, they asked us to present a paper. We have done that, and no response. So, my brother, we have a lot of issues that are on the table. They talk to us, we suspend our strike, they don't attend to us. You follow up, and they give plenty excuses.
Okay.
Now, GTEC will call the finance directorate, drop down this category of staff, administrative and professional staff, from level this and step this to another level. For instance, the deputy director of finance we have been instructed to drop them from 24 high to 24 low. A senior accountant and senior assistant registrar, we have been instructed to drop that person from 23 high to 22, 23 low to 22 high. Meanwhile, our colleagues on the other side, these instructions do not affect them.
Okay. I have the education ministry. I'll let you take leave of us, but I have the education ministry rep on the line. I do not think there's any answer that they have to give to you. Do you have any questions for them necessarily? Otherwise, we would say that your fight is with the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission, and when we get them, we'll take it up with them. I want to know, is there anything that the education ministry needs to do for you?
Well, they are employers. The former Minister of Education invited us. We had an MOA, Memorandum of Agreement with the ministry. They didn't implement it. Even as we speak now, our colleagues in the technical universities, TUSAC, are on strike. We presented, the two of us, we have the same bargaining certificate. So we presented our issue to the Minister of Education in March, because we had cautioned that if they don't attend to our one-off payment of the research allowance, we are going on strike in April. When we met with the minister told us we should give him 1 month. End of April, he will pay. He will ensure that it's paid. At that meeting, we called the Ministry of Finance, the one in charge. He assured us, at the Minister of Education's office, up to today, that has made the technical university senior administrators go on strike. This is the third week. Nothing has been done about it. And we have also joined them. So we are saying that the government and the the agencies and our regulators, because most of them are on secondment, and after secondment they will go back and teach as lecturers.
Okay.
They are not doing us any favor. They are being dishonest to us. They are not teaching us fairly. Though the name of fair wages is fair wages, they are being unfair to administrators and professional staff of public universities and our technical universities. That is why we have laid down our tools, my brother.
Thank you so much for speaking to us, Rev.
Thank you, my brother.
That's
have a blessed day.
Reverend Amwa Kakari is president of the Ghana Association of University Administrators. I have on the other line Hashmin Mohammed, who is press secretary to the Minister for Education. Hashmin, you're welcome to Eyewitness News. So I just spoke there to Gawa. They are on strike as the institution of education that is interested in our education. Clearly, you should have been observing what's happening. Is there anything that you can do to intervene? The impression I get is that this is a fair wages matter, but you are the employers. You should be interested in the fact that our schools are shutting down because of challenges that this association legitimately believe they deserve.
Thank you very much, Umar. Well, anything that has to do with education and then anything that will affect the academic calendar of any of our institutions in the education sector, we are concerned here at the Education Ministry. So this strike issue has come to the attention of the Honorable Minister, and the Honorable Minister intends to engage with them and then the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission to find an amicable solution to this issue. I think that meeting should come sometime this week, most likely tomorrow, so that we can be able to find solution to this issue.
Very well. So we'll wait to see how that happens. Let's speak to the main reason we really contacted. We've seen that you've issued a statement on Arabic education in our public schools. What necessitated that?
Okay, so last month, NACA, the regulatory body in charge of curriculum development, they have been engaging various stakeholders to revise the basic school curriculum. And as part of it, the Islamic Education Unit of the Ghana Education Service called on them to see how best they can develop a standardized curriculum to be able to regulate the teaching of Arabic. Hitherto, the teaching of Arabic, which has been in existence since the late 80s, has been without any standardized curriculum for the teaching of Arabic in their Muslim community. Because in Ghana, we have English and Arabic schools. That is why we have established the English and Arabic unit of the Ghana Education Service. And this has been in existence for decades now. It didn't just recently start under this administration. Neither did it just start in the last 10 years or so. It is something that has existed for more than 4 decades now. So when that request were made to them, they saw it as legitimate to develop or formulate a standardized curriculum that can guide the Arabic instructors whenever they are teaching Arabic in English and Arabic schools. So that was the main reason why NACA involved themselves, and then they developed this curriculum. But when they did the presentation and then they made that recommendation to the Honorable Minister for Education, we realized that there was some section of Ghanaians who have been spreading misinformation that the Honorable Minister intends to impose his religious beliefs on them. But we decided that we need to clarify the issue and then let some people know, whether we like it or not, we still have some section of our compatriots who are ignorant about certain things, and there is the need for us to clarify that Arabic is not a religion. It is a language just like French, English, or Spanish, and any other international language. And this language policy is not compulsory. It is just an optional language for people who will show interest. who will show interest in studying it. And that has already been in existence in our education structure for a very long time. But the problem was that each and Arabic school were teaching Arabic based on their own methodology. So NACA said when the requests were made to them, when they were developing the junior high school, the senior high school curriculum, they took that into consideration, and then they developed a standardized curriculum to be able to guide the instructors who are teaching this Arabic language in their schools.
So is it the case that all schools henceforth will start teaching Arabic? Is that your agenda as a ministry?
No, that is not. It is just for a section of our Ghanaian society who have English and Arabic schools. For instance, if you go up north and then some parts of our Zongo, what we call the Zongo communities, we have English and Arabic schools. And those schools have been in existence for a very long time. And then the state decided to recognize them in the early 80s. That gave birth to the Islamic Education Unit, a unit under the Ministry of Education. So this unit have been teaching Arabic language to their community without a standardized curriculum. And when the request was made to NACA thought it wise to engage with the Islamic Education Unit and other relevant stakeholders to develop a standardized curriculum, which will now be a guide for the teaching of Arabic in their school, but not on all Ghanaian schools.
I have seen on social media, people say, why not French? Why not Chinese? Why the emphasis on Arabic? And that there's some suspicion there about Islamizing the public schools. How do you respond to such comments that I've seen around on TikTok and other places?
Well, like I have explained, whether we like it or not, there are hundreds of Islamic schools, English and Arabic schools in our country, and they are a community. And once they are a community and they are a unit under the Ghana Education Service, if they make a request that they want to regulate whatever whatever teaching methodology they are using to teach their community, NACA as a regulatory body will have interest in that, and it is on that basis that NACA decided to develop that particular curriculum.
Very well. Thank you so much for speaking to us on this.
Thank you very much, Umar.
That's Hashmi Mohammed. He is Press Secretary to the Minister for Education, Honorable Haruna Idris. So this is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Live your dream now at Eden Heights. Move into our beautifully finished and ready to move in 3 and 4 bedroom apartment or penthouses thoughtfully designed for modern living today. Enjoy the serenity of a secure gated community with a fully equipped sports complex, landscape surroundings, ample parking, 24-hour security, reliable backup utilities, and convenient access to shopping, entertainment, and everyday essentials. With up to 3 years interest-free payment plans and mortgage financing options available, owning your dream home has never been easier. And here's the good news: pay 50% or more and move in today. Book a viewing now on 0501 531 444 or 445 and on our website at www.edenheights.com.gh. Eden Heights, the heights of modern living.
Frustrated with outdated banking experiences? You deserve an app that makes your life easier, not harder. Say hello to the CBG mobile app, your new cool way to handle everything banking. With biometric security, lightning-fast mobile money access, and one-touch bill payments, banking has never been this smooth. Stop imagining when you can live a life where your entire banking world is in your pocket, ready whenever you need it. No stress, no fuss. Don't settle for less. Experience a more superior, convenient way of banking today with the CBG mobile app. Banking made cool, fast and secure. Welcome to the good life. CBG. We stand with you.
Your child can excel academically and in the sports they love and are good at. At Prodigy International Academy, we believe every child deserves to excel in the classroom, on the field, and in life. With an internationally recognized curriculum, an elite sports program, modern, well-serviced boarding facilities, and a strong foundation in Christian values, Prodigy nurtures confident, skilled, and well-rounded learners who are prepared for a global future. Here, sports and academics go hand in hand to empower students to discover their strengths, develop strong character, leadership, and relentlessly pursue excellence. Give your child's full potential a chance. Visit prodigy.edu.gh or call 025-609-7974 to begin your Prodigy's journey. Prodigy International Academy. Excel, inspire, persevere.
Let your voice be heard on Eyewitness News on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag Eyewitness News.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Yeah, welcome back. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. It's time to return to the Citi Newsroom again for news summaries. And Fafa Melody Potiver is here before me. Fafa, please take it up.
Well, former Minister of State in charge of Finance, Abna Osei-Asare, is calling on President Mahama to initiate a thorough investigation into the reported losses incurred by the Ghana Gold Board in its operations. The chairperson of Parliament's Public Accounts Committee claims that 6 billion Ghana cedis of the $1.7 billion loss reportedly attributed to Gold Board by the IMF could have been used to recruit unemployed nurses. Speaking to journalists, the Etiwa East MP urged President Mahama to honor his promise to merge or collapse non-performing state-owned enterprises.
President Mahama, we are asking you to call for proper and further investigations into what is happening at Gold Board. I am temporarily relieved that at least Bank of Ghana from 1st of July 2026 is no more spending on Gold Board as it used to be. So, President Mahama, somewhere last year, you engaged the SOEs, and then you mentioned that SOEs that are not making profits or SOEs that are not thriving, you either close them down or you merge them. So we want you to walk the talk. Look into Gold Board. Look into the losses that they have incurred so far and see how best you can salvage the situation. We want you to walk the talk and help save the little resources that we have. Already, you've introduced more than 8 new taxes and it's still not yielding the revenue numbers that you want. So if there's an opportunity to save some money and use it in other equally important places, we are all for it. And we ask that you do so.
Well, she also called on the accounting firm responsible for auditing the Bank of Ghana's financial statement to explain the discrepancies between the losses reported by the central bank and those contained in the International Monetary Fund's report.
Another issue is this. BOG recorded $214 million as the loss. IMF comes, IMF is privy to all the data and everything and says, no, the loss is not $214 million as you recorded, but $1.7 billion. I'm asking, the accounting firm that audited Bank of Ghana, I want to hear from them on this. Because, so how did they treat the difference of close to 1.4 billion? How was it treated? That it cannot be seen in their financial statement for BOG to declare that they only made a loss of 214 million Ghana cedis. And then the IMF comes and says, no, that loss on Gold Board is 1.7 billion. So I'm also calling out the accounting firm that audited Bank of Ghana. They should come clean. We want to hear from them. We need an explanation of how they treated the difference of 1.4 billion. That is very, very important because here their credibility is at stake.
Well, I have the chairperson of the Public Accounts Committee of Parliament and former Minister of State in charge of Finance, Abna Osei Asari. Now, in more stories, traders at the Agbogbloshie market are appealing to the government to provide them with an alternative trading space before they are evacuated. The appeal follows a 1-month notice issued by the Accra Metropolitan Assembly for traders and other occupants to vacate the area to pave way for the construction of a 24-hour economy market. Speaking to City News, some of the affected traders called on the government to provide a suitable alternative before the demolition exercise begins.
I have lived here for nearly 12 years without any problems, but about a week ago, some well-known men came here and marked our buildings for demolition, claiming they were acting on the government's instruction. We have nowhere to go if we are evicted. This place is our source of livelihood, so we are appealing to the government to intervene. We cannot be simply pushed out without any means of survival.
Last week,
about 2 weeks ago, military personnel and AMA officials came here to mark our buildings and shops for demolition. When we asked why, we were told government had given us 2 weeks to leave. Some of us have lived here for 40 to 50 years, and we have never experienced anything like this. Well, those were some traders from the Agbogbloshie market. Now, in more stories, Channel 1 TV and Citi FM have announced the top 100 contestants who have advanced to the next stage of the literacy challenge following the completion of the initial process. The shortlisted contestants aged 11 to 15 will sit for a written aptitude test on Sunday, August 16 at the British Council in Accra. Speaking on the City Breakfast Show today, Head of Programs Production at Channel 1 TV, Apioko Seram Ashong Abi, highlighted the increased regional representation among the shortlisted contestants, although representation from public schools remain low.
Unfortunately, we still have more private schools than public schools. However, we're seeing more public than we have in the past. So that was good. That was impressive. You see, what we experienced while we were promoting this and getting the students to write was that we had district heads or community heads of private schools associations reaching out to us. We didn't have that with the public school side of things. So it also tells you that, unfortunately, it looks like our private school heads, the people who are running those systems, are more interested in things like this. We did, though, have some headmistresses, headmasters, community leaders reaching out to find out information so that they could now go and educate the young people and get them to write. In terms of the regional spread, we had from, pretty much the whole country. However, there are some certain regions that had very low representation. And when you think about these regions, if you've been to some of these regions before, you realize that it corresponds with also the developmental challenges that they're experiencing there.
That was the head of programs production at Channel 1 TV, Apioko Seram Ashongabi. Now, to access the list of the top 100 contestants, visit our website, citynewsroom.com, for more information. The Literacy Challenge 2026 is powered by Channel 1 TV and Citi FM and sponsored by Prospectus Ghana Limited, SIC Insurance PLC, Advocate Publishing, Tema Oil Refinery, and the Delhi Group.
Indeed. Thank you so much, Fafa Melody Potife, bringing us news summaries from the City Newsroom. Eyewitness News is live across Ghana on a host of affiliate stations. In Takrady, in the Western region, we are on Beach 105.5 FM and Sky 93.5 FM in Takrady. In the Ahafo region, we are in Goso on Hammers Radio 106.5 FM. We are in the Bono region's capital, Sunyani, on Greener 95.9 FM on the campus of the University of Energy and Natural Resources. In the Ashanti region, we are on Focus 94.3 FM in Kumasi and Orange 107.9 FM also in Kumasi. In Tajavu, in the Volta region, we are on Revival 99.3 FM. In the northern region, we are on Radio Bimbila 91.9 FM in Bimbila. In Upper East, we are in the capital Bolgatanga on Bolga 102.7 FM. We are in Navrongo on Pure 100.5 FM. And we are in Gumzang. We are on Gumzang 90.1 FM in Tongo. In the Upper West region, we are on Tongsong 97.3 FM in Wa. We are on YouTube and we are on Facebook. Just look for Citi FM and you can find Eyewitness News there. If you have comments or messages in response to the stories we've been discussing tonight, the WhatsApp number is 0539 986 996 0539 986 996, or mention my handle at Umaru Sanda or at Citi 973. Use the hashtag Eyewitness News. The world gets to hear your views during the Talkback segment, which comes up later. But before then, Nashika Caesar from the Citi Business Desk is seated across from me, and Nashika is bringing us the latest in the world of business. Now, you're welcome.
Thank you very much, Sanda.
How is the business world looking?
It's looking good.
Everything fine?
Everything is okay.
Good.
Actually, Ghana's trade has gone up 9 times.
Oh, okay. Sounds like a great news. Please tell us more.
Right. Ghana's total merchandise trade rose from about $6 billion in 2004 to $54.5 billion in 2025, representing nearly a 9-fold increase over the 2-decade period. This is according to the latest merchandise trade statistics released by the Ghana Statistical Service. Despite the growth in trade, Ghana recorded trade deficits in 14 of the 21 years, with the country posting a record trade surplus of about 148.3 billion cedis in 2025. Here's a government statistician, Dr. Al-Hassan Idrisu, with highlights of Ghana's trade performance over the 21-year period.
Trade grew 9-fold in dollar terms in 21 years, from $6 billion in 2004 to $52.5 billion in 2025. 2. The number 61%. This is the share of exports from total trade in 2025, with a record surplus of 148.3 billion Ghana cedis, or $11.5 billion. Third, 63%. This is Gold's share of exports, up from 39% in 2004. Our greatest strength, it's here, which is gold. At the same time, it's our greatest exposure. And we are talking about just one commodity or one figure. Fourth, 50%, or about half. This is Asia's share of our exports, up from under 8% in 2004 to 50.1% in 2025.
That was the government statistician, Dr. Al-Hassan Idrisu. Now, banking consultant Dr. Richmond Etiahine wants a constitutional amendment to enhance the independence of the central bank to enable it to regulate financial systems without political interference. Dr. Etiahine opines that political pressure is undermining the independence of the Bank of Ghana, hence the need for urgent reforms. He's been explaining his position in this Citi Business News interview.
The terms of the governing party and the Bank of Ghana synchronize. So anytime one is leaving, the whole board leaves. But if you want to have a very good independent, as practiced in other jurisdictions in South Africa, in UK, in America, always the governor's term should be more than. I've seen it in the new constitution, the amended constitution. But I think it's giving them 10 years. But 10 years is also a reasonable period. So I was suggesting that for every 5 years, instead of 4, every government comes, they must maintain the governor, the board of directors, or the governor and 2 deputies and the board of directors, so that it will enhance the independence. The position of the governor should be coterminous. It shouldn't be coterminous, like When the politicians are going, he goes. That is the reason why that you bring your own party prodigies. They come in and they sing the chorus. So when you tell them not to finance, they finance. But if I know my term will spill over the political time, I'm not going to do it. So my worry is that it's not the legal issue. I'm looking at the constitutional amendment.
You heard the banking consultant, Dr. Richmond Etiahene. Now, though the Minister of Food and Agriculture, Eric Opoku, has called for stronger collaboration among key stakeholders, shareholders, to help meet the government 10 million cedi funding target for the Ghana Agricultural Fund for Education and Transformation by year end. The fund is expected to provide sustainable financing for agricultural education, training and skills development in the country. Speaking at the launch, Eric Opoku said, so far the Ministry of Food and Agriculture has mobilized 3.5 million cedis, leaving a funding gap of 6.5 million cedis to be raised by December.
Our immediate ambition is to grow the fund to 10 million Ghana cedis by December 2026 and to 100 million Ghana cedis by the end of 2028. These are bold targets, but they are achievable. If every stakeholder represented here accepts agricultural education as a shared national responsibility, certainly we can achieve our dreams. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, a fund of this importance must not be built on trust, must be built on trust. Contributors must be confident that their resources will be professionally managed, transparently accounted for, and applied to clearly identified institutional needs. Beneficiary institutions must also be able to demonstrate measurable results. Accordingly, the proposed operational framework provides for clear and separate responsibilities among a governing board, an independent fund administrator, or technical advisor.
That was the Minister of Food and Agriculture, Eric Opoku. Now, industries must maintain high standards in the production of made-in-Ghana goods to improve their competitiveness in both domestic and international markets. According to the Minister of Trade, Agribusiness and Industry, Elizabeth Ufusejari, this is critical as Ghana seeks to strengthen its industrial base and expand the market for locally produced goods. She spoke after a visit to Focus Electronic Company Limited, where she reiterated the government's commitment to creating an enabling environment for businesses to expand and create jobs.
Business is to make sure that not only do we bring investment to this country, but to make sure that we also create the enabling environment for existing industries to thrive. So what we do is that from time to time, we visit plants and see what they do firsthand, check whether what they are doing is okay, and then also bring to bear what we want them to do. Sometimes we encourage them to expand if it's quality, if it's staffing, if it's gender inequality, then we draw their attention and all of that. And so any plant I go, as for the gender, I look out for them to make sure that it's fairly balanced. We are here to see the plants, to see what issues they have, and then we cannot address it to make sure that they employ the number of people that we want. I'm happy to know that they employ about 500 people. This is good. But as I keep saying, we should create the enabling environment for them to expand so that they can hire more people.
That was Minister of Trade, Agribusiness and Industry, Elizabeth Ufusejari. Now, the implementation of a government-approved 720 cedi ceiling for the container administrative charge, also known as the local handling charge, continues to face resistance from some shipping lines operating at Ghana's ports. Despite a directive, the Ghana Institute of Freight Forwarders says some shipping lines are still charging rates above the approved ceiling. So why are the shipping lines refusing to comply? Here's an explainer.
The key issue is cost recovery. Some shipping lines believe the 720 cedi rate does not adequately cover the cost associated with handling containers and, as a result, argue that the new rate does not sufficiently protect their commercial interests. The shipping lines are therefore reluctant to adopt the approved rate and have continued to apply charges they consider more reflective of the operational costs. This has created a gap between the rate approved by the authorities and what some shipping lines are actually charging at the ports. What does the directive require? Now, the government's decision to set a ceiling on the container administrative charge was intended to bring greater certainty and predictability to the charges imposed on importers and other port users. However, the concerns raised by shipping lines suggest that there is still disagreement over whether the approved rate is commercially viable. For the shipping lines, the argument is essentially that a regulated charge should adequately compensate them for the services and costs involved. The immediate challenge for the regulators is to bridge the gap between the government-approved rate and the rates being charged by some shipping lines. Until that is resolved, the container administrative charge is likely to remain a point of contention at Ghana's ports. The bigger question is whether the authorities can enforce the 720 cedi ceiling while also addressing the shipping lines' concerns over the adequacy of the approved rates.
That was Daniel Attah-Mensah with that explainer. And that's it for City Business News and Eyewitness News. I'm Nashika Caesar. Many thanks for listening.
Thank you so much, Nashika Caesar from the City Business Desk. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. Talkback is up next.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Introducing Ghana's leading pay-as-you-copy photocopier leasing company. Lease an A4, A3, heavy-duty or production machine and pay for only the copies made or design your own payment plan. Simple and tia. That's not all. Incredibly, toners, repairs, maintenance, follow-me printing, centralized tracking all come free of charge. Remember, financial prudence is the name of the game. Folks, forget about the expensive gimmicks and be smart. Join the hundreds of satisfied clients across all the 16 regions and every sector of the economy and save over 60% of your printing costs. Visit us at www.valexlease.com or call 0244-644048. Be prudent and lease a copier. Terms and conditions apply. Valex Lease is a wholly owned Ghanaian company. Valex Lease, affordable document management solutions.
Everybody they sell, but your shop they empty.
Where's my report?
Bro, month no end here too. But see, your pocket stop they take. Another emergency for the house?
Come and get ideas. Ideas go kill them.
Another idea, another mark time. No capital to start. For some people, this silence no be peaceful. It be money matter.
With bills, there's no need for silence. From my emergency loans to salary loans to working capital loans and startup loans, Bills has you covered.
Apply with your Ghana card today. Call 0596 920 833 or 0302 200 390. Bills, financing your needs. T's and C's apply.
Your home could be anything you want it to be. It could be a stadium.
It's just 12 yards out. He shoots.
What
a try. It's a goal.
Or a gaming arena.
Yes, let's go.
Sometimes a classroom.
Madam, please, I don't understand.
All right, let's go over it again. Which part don't you understand?
The whole shop.
Or it could be an office.
How many orders are ready? Okay, send them to East Legon first.
Or even a research center.
Daddy, what is the Big Bang Theory?
Wait, let me ask ChatGPT.
You can make your home anything you want it to be, because no matter the experience you want at home, MTN Fiber will power it. Get unlimited internet up to 500 megabytes per second from as low as 299 Ghana cedis. Connect your home or business today. Visit the My MTN app or dial *5057# to check fiber availability and request now.
MTN.
Let your voice be heard on Eyewitness News on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag Eyewitness News.
You're welcome back. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. It's now time for Talk Back. And Talk Back is brought to you by Avle's Lease Equipment Limited. Avle's Lease, affordable document management. The messages, Fred, welcome.
Thank you, Mari.
Let me start off from X, where the messages have been coming through the handle at Citi973. Okay, so I'll start from the top. Baliok Daniel says, my sincerest and deepest condolences to the family of Dr. Dramani Bukari, Deputy CEO of the NPA. May the Almighty God grant the bereaved family strength, comfort. Okay. Greater Heights says, Tiger Transport. Oh, is it part of my show? Okay, let me see. It says, Tiger Transport Services Association plying the route Medina to Kaso has increased their lorry fare between 30% to 50%, depending on where you alight. They have increased the fares by 2 cedis and 3 cedis in some instances. Is this at the blind side or on the blind side of the GPRTU? Okay. All right, so that's some information that is given out there to the GPRTU to deal with, and also the Ministry of Transport. Let me see the messages that you have sent through on WhatsApp. Anafenaneku says, I have listened to Honorable Katie Hammond's comments on the AXA purchase. Okay, this is actually from yesterday. So let me bring the next message. Says, okay, Akapo Jr. and Afomim says, lawyers for the accused persons must do their clients some good by representing them in court. Once their clients have good cases, they will surely be exonerated, even when the court implements 24-hour adjudication. All right, so that's from Akapo Jr. This one says, I'm Joseph, texting from Kumasi. Please ask the GES PRO, it's actually Ministry of Education PRO, about the ongoing teacher recruitment exercise. I've been to Kumasi Regional Office of the GES twice, and I'm still being told the so-called list for appointment letters are still not in. All right. John Kekeli Bansa says the Chief Justice's push to keep trials going during the legal vacation, even as the Bar Association asks for some breathing room, feels more like political urgency than genuine diligence. Order 79 Rule 4 is meant to give lawyers and judges a proper break after the year's heavy term. Yet Bafoboni brushed aside adjournment requests from experienced counsel like Attah and Godfrey Dami, treating real scheduling conflicts as minor annoyances. When urgent matters suddenly stretch to, okay, this is the next message. It says, when urgent matters suddenly stretch to cover politically charged cases, the courts risk losing as if they are rushing justice against opposition figures while still claiming neutrality. Justice delayed is justice denied, but justice forced through the recess starts to look like efficiency and more like pressure in judicial rules. Okay. Hack from WA says, in 2023, on 12 August, 12 high courts were allowed continuation of proceedings. So I ask, what has changed? My regards to Bakman Dauda, aka Empire. Hack, tomorrow, please let me know who Bakman Dauda is to you. Because every day you say you are sending him messages, aka Empire. Does he feed you? I want to know. Or is your landlord? And if you don't give him shout, he will remove you. I want to know. I really genuinely want to know. Or is contesting some position. Okay. Al Hassan Hamdan in Nyonyi South says, respectfully, the law cannot go on vacation when public funds are at stake. CI 47 gives the CJ discretion to sit during vacation. If the state considers these cases urgent, the courts must hear them. Counsel is unavailable, cannot be a veto over the administration of justice. The calendar must serve the people, not just the bar. Fred, give us the next message.
This is from Asokre Joseph from Bongo. He says, now the GBA has found its voice. Oh, I forgot NDC is in power. Will Attah and others have time to attend court regarding the Wontumi bill pending appeal case? If 2 or 3 people have been jailed in the absence of their lawyers, all clients would make steady to speak sense to their lawyers. Let's give some time. The table will turn one day. The future is pregnant. The elephants never forget. and many more would pop up right now. Abi National Inwa says Attah should give us a break. Was he not in Ghana when his leader went to the Supreme Court on Friday, which was unusual? What did he say about that? We the people from Oyarifa, it is now clear that some lawyers are mischievously trying to drag the judiciary into the political arena, which is absolutely unacceptable. So is your guest saying that he should be the one to decide which cases should continue during the legal vacation?
Okay, let me bring this one. It says, but seriously, some NPP members, especially Attah and co, thought Ghanaians don't have sense and they are the only knowledgeable people in Ghana. Is it the first time the judiciary is going for their sabbatical leave? Why must everything be done their way? Which kind of people are these? That's Angelo Kojo Fiagbe. Isaac in Kaswa Iron City says the NPP and their lawyers have forgotten that the seed they sow when they were in power is now bearing fruit, so they should be happy and enjoy the fruit. This one is referring to the story that I read earlier, the Justice Kwame Afred decision. Let me bring this message from. Okay, so this message is just posting that story. This one says, I can really understand the Honorable Attah. He isn't against the fact that some judges sit when they are on vacation to sit on certain matters. However, setting out judges to go outside the usual really paints a perspective of selective justice. It's unfortunate that our lawyers, CG and the AG, keep manipulating certain aspects of the law to their advantage. This only sets up a precedent that tends to defeat the very essence of justice delivery fairness, not rushed or coerced. Fred.
This is from Peter. He says, in fact, Lawyer Attah is one of the few intelligent lawyers and politicians we have in this country. I heard him on TV3 before hearing him right now on Citi FM. His points are excellently articulated. If you throw party colors away, you would understand that his points stated are super excellent. And I can say he won the debate on the said issue. Peter from Akosombo.
Okay.
Selective application and miscarriage of justice at the convenience of the NDC, that is gaining notoriety for subverting rule of law. The future of Ghana's justice system under the NDC government seem bleak. The justice system is all that we have as a country, and politicians must steer clear of it. Yakubu Ibn Chambers from Wale Wale.
Carter Jonah in Osino says, tell Edu Buahin to be smart. If not, he will be thrown into jail like Wontumi because of the negligence of his lawyer. Greetings to Ankara Sankara, MPP PC for STK constituency. STK would be where? STK, second right? No, I don't know what STK is. Do you know what STK is?
No, I don't know what STK is.
Okay.
We have Dede from Tema Community 7. She says, in as much as we all want accountability, especially from government officials, Mr. Attah raised critical issues, which in summary made this legal vacation issue answered. Honorable Attah would be a good Chief Justice one day.
Okay. CJ saying the power of adjournment lies in the court to sort of cover up his own directive to have certain cases tried is just some way. Instead of withdrawing his directive to clean this up, the cases will still be tried. What's the rush? Lawyer Attah and his clients should avail themselves to the law court if they believe in their defense. This is a clear tactic to delay the case. That's Delenyo Agbe in Peduasi. Fred.
Now the GBA has found his voice. Oh, I forgot. I think we read this message already.
Okay.
Interesting discussion. I am being educated on legal vacation issues. This is Daniel Harrison from Hacho. We go to the Okwankwe North constituency where Michael Entribesiaku says, I can get my head over the penchant of the Chief Justice to carry out an ambulance trial of opposition party members. Why the selectivity of justice? Are some cases more special than others? Well, tomorrow remains pregnant and awaiting labor.
All right, Meshach Asante Namasaman says the appointment of Honorable James Agaga as majority leader is in the right direction. Because that's a story we did 2 days ago. More messages. Paul in Wichley says Attah needs not be stubborn. He should reason through Martin Kwebu's perspective on the law and argue his case out with the judge. It's only fair that he does this. He does this in the interest of his client. His convenience should not be a burden to his client. Please, what the Gawa man is saying is true. How can some who someone who is a college finance officer be demoted to a finance officer at a department within the college, all because his tenure in that position or office has lapsed. It is like reassigning a headmaster from school A to school B as a teacher because his tenure as headmaster has ended. Ministry of Education and GTech should come again. Well, thank you so much all for sending messages to us on our WhatsApp and also on our X for the Talkback segment. Talkback is the part of the show where we bring your messages back to the world to hear what your position is. And it's brought to you by Avle's Lease Equipment Limited, Avle's Lease Affordable Document Management Solutions. I am Umar Rusandamadu. Fred Tetejabano came through to help us in studio. So was Nashika Caesar and Fafa Melody Potufe. Production by Kobina Wilson, Sami Wiafi, Fred Tetejabano, Beverly London, Juliana Odami, Asari. My name is Umar Rusanda. That's my name. I think I mentioned that before. I'm a bit confused. Forgive me. Edwin Kwakovi helped us with the new media, and Renice Foley with Desmond Nyaku on the technical console. We'll be back tomorrow at 1700 GMT. Thank you for listening and have a good night.
City News. We speak first. Reach our hotline on 0302 224959 and get interactive on Facebook, City 97.3 FM, and on Twitter at City 973.
Are you building your dream home, managing a construction project, running an electrical shop, or looking for a reliable electrical solutions for your business? Look no further than PPA Electricals. As an ISO 9001 and ISO 45001 certified company, we are committed to providing